Welcome to my channel. If you are coming for the first time, I request you to share and subscribe. Today's insight is on tourism. The COVID pandemic has had a dramatic effect on travel, with United Nations Travel Organization estimating nearly 80% decline in travel as compared to 2019, putting nearly 25 million aviation jobs and nearly 100 million travel and tourism jobs at risk worldwide. This is for the first time in the history that 90% of the world population is living under travel restrictions. Country borders are closed, cities are at standstill, buses are not plying, flights are grounded, cruises are docked in harbors, restaurants are shuttered, hotels are shut, and people are living in cloistered homes. No one knows what is going to happen in the future. No vaccine in place, social distancing, masks and gloves are the new safety mantra. And during these times, nobody is even thinking of a holiday, let alone planning for one. In Thailand, for example, which accounts for nearly 18% of the GDP, the Tourism Authority of Thailand says that there will be a decline of nearly 70% in visitors this year. Shopkeepers used to make nearly $300 a day before pre-COVID. In April, Thailand banned all international flights, and these shopkeepers are not even able to make $2 per day, or sometimes it's even zero. So with so much at stake, both for livelihood and for economies, let's see what are the possible impacts and trends in tourism and how countries who thrive on tourism are doing their best to bring back this industry. Geographies are going to be a big no. Countries like Italy, Spain, Germany, UK, and for that matter US, where the COVID deaths are more, it is not going to take more of a travelers in the near future. Even China looks to be a big negative. Business travel is going to be reduced. More and more companies are now working on how to reduce the business travel. Zoom meetings are going to be the future. Leisure travels will completely go down with so much uncertainty, with no flights, with economy in the recession. The MICE markets will go for a bloom for some time. Most of the big global events, conferences, seminars, conventions, symposiums has either been cancelled or postponed since February, when the COVID pandemic started gaining momentum. Olympics has been postponed. IPL is either postponed or cancelled. Wimbledon is scrapped. Expo 2020, Geneva Motor Show, all of them have either been cancelled or postponed. It will be a while before enthusiasm for such gatherings will reignite. Religious tourism will also come down. With government imposing restrictions on social distancing, one would have seen the Amritsar temple, Vaishno Devi, Tirupati and the like. It's all closed. Even there were pictures of Makkah being circulated in the internet, hardly with any Hajis there. Destination weddings. This is not going to be there for some time. Most of the affluent celebrities and rich people were getting married in exotic and picturesque locations worldwide. In Italy, in Morocco, Seychelles, Thailand, and the like. But now with travel restrictions, weddings will happen mostly in their own countries. It also gels well with the concept that India has: made in India, make in India, spend in India. So it's a good time for good locations within India, for example, to have wedding and honeymoon. When air travel is going to be expensive, with government bringing in mandate where the middle seat has to be kept vacant, the cost of air tickets will go up. And having said that, the travel insurance will also go up. So it may also possible that when the airlines will have less occupancy, they may come out with increasing the baggage allowance so as to attract and retain customers. Airports will also be less crowded, and this is not a good news for outlets in F&B, lifestyle and electronics, where they were getting heavy volumes, the retailing in airports. Cruise liners will have a tough time for at least for a year or so. This will be impacted badly. Group travel will be impacted. Of late, more and more people were traveling in groups, mainly because they are first-timers and middle-class families, with the reason that it is more affordable and safety and safe. So this travel will also get a backseat. Mature travelers and red retirees who, after finishing all their family responsibilities, had found a newfound liberation. The old folks, they were traveling around the world. We would have seen it for the last few years. You find a lot of old people traveling. It will affect their morale, as this virus is susceptible for old people, so they would love to prefer to stay at home. Luxury hotels, their tariffs will go down because of less occupancy. They will have no choice but to reduce their tariffs. Food and beverage consumption will go down. It goes without saying that with less travel and less occupancy in the hotels, food and beverage consumption will be affected. Even in the restaurants, there will be less of people because they will have to maintain social distancing. Shopping will come down because when people travel to destinations like Bangkok, Dubai, it is not only for sightseeing but also for shopping. With less travel already there, shopping will have to recede till better times to come. So what will take place is that when there is a restriction on international travel and the fear in safety in flights, people will try to travel in local destinations. So local tourism in each country will grow, and the countries will also support, their governments will also support with some new packages to develop local tourism. So more people will be traveling to locations which has not been traveled before. Micro holidays will also be encouraged, as there will be no long holidays and long distance travel. Small micro holidays will be the future, where people will go for holidays for a week, 2 days, 3 days, 10 days, and throughout the year. So this sort of a trend will come in the future. Nature tourism. This form of tourism will be helpful for people to maintain long distancing and to be associated with nature, which people have forgotten for a long time. So definitely nature will thrive, and wildlife sanctuaries, sea resorts, hill resorts will have people, and most of the people would love to take advantage of this, which they have not been able to do so for some time. Having said this, with such lockdown and people who have been staying indoors, their priorities have changed, and they would be thinking to come out with new passions, the pleasures, small pleasures, and as such, people will come back again to things like walking, sailing, trekking, simple pleasures. And that will form new ways of holiday in the future. Having seen the impact and the trend, let us see how countries world over are trying to bring back tourism post-COVID. Travel bubble. New Zealand and Australia have already committed to create a travel bubble, allowing visitors and their countrymen to visit between these two countries when the situation is under control. China has also allowed domestic travel, even though their borders are closed for foreign tourists. Thailand is also thinking of opening up certain places for foreign tourists and taking it as Thailand has also considered opening up certain areas for foreign tourists, and this will also act like an island. they feel that it will be good for the tourists and also for local residents, as this will work as a quarantine, says Tourism Authority of Thailand. But how far this quarantine will be useful has to be seen. It would not be fair that if a tourist who comes to Thailand has to go back to their country and do 2-week quarantine, and under such circumstances, they will not prefer for such island retreat. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania have also spoken of opening up their borders in the near future, or perhaps maybe in June, for their countrymen. For most of the countries, it is not fair to be in isolation for some time, and the experts feel that in the near future, many countries will start trying to open up. According to PATA, Vietnam and Thailand can also look up opening corridors between the two countries. Some of the aviation analysts also feels that this will start as an example for other countries like Europe and North America to do so. But when countries are looking up for other countries for pairing like this, they will also consider some important facts. They will also see how far the outbreak has been controlled in these two countries, and they will also consider their geopolitical relationship. Like for example, Australia and New Zealand have a very good geopolitical relationship, and this sort of a pairing really makes sense. In the case of Asia, China is a big market for outbound tourism. Chinese normally prefer to go to places which is known to them and which is very near. And considering this, Thailand will be the first option. That means Thailand, which attracts nearly 10 million Chinese tourists, will be first to open travel for Chinese citizens. Having said this, these religious travel bubbles will be volatile, and if there is any resurgence in COVID cases in the future, these corridors will be closed immediately. Reopening of borders. It will be a long time, before long distance travel takes place beyond the regional bubble. So that means that a travel or a tourist from the United States coming to Asia will be a long distance way. It also depends how far these countries are able to contain this pandemic. For countries which are heavily dependent upon tourism, they will have to balance between health and economic concerns. Supposing if one country opens up its borders, it is not necessary that other countries will also open, and they will allow their citizens to come to these countries. And if that is so, then opening of borders will not work. In New Zealand, the government is considering easing up regulations for foreign students to come, as reported by New Zealand Radio. Another thing is that airports around the world will roll out for immunity passports. Immunity passports means whether the traveler is free from COVID. The focus will be on health. The authorities will also see before a traveler or a passenger is boarded the flight whether he has been checked properly for temperature. The authorities will also have to trust on these rapid test measures before a passenger is allowed to board the flight. The immunity passports also rely on the idea that if a passenger has been recovered from COVID-19, will not be reinfected. But there is no guarantee so far from World Health Organization that it will not happen again. New travel protocols will also be in place, which includes touchless travel and digital health passports, which includes automation, face recognition, digital scanning, sanitizing, masks, gloves, where each and every passenger will have to go through this so that they will be trusted with the safety protocols. With so much unknown about tourism future, many industries are waging a war, considering what will be the future of this industry, whether it will change forever or change for better. Some experts feel that it will come back to normal soon, and not for a day or tomorrow, but within 2 years' time. Some feel that this is an opportunity to reset, to solve the long-standing issues of over-tourism and its impact on local culture and communities. They also feel that tourism should be slower and thoughtful. It should not only benefit the traveler, but should also benefit the local community and economy. So to conclude, too much has changed in too short a period of time. Even if borders open, travelers must trust that they will be able to land safely in their destination. New health and safety measures and systems need to be in place, but it is still not been defined. It is the ability to cope with this change, the ability to cope with this new normal, rather than the capability that will define the future. But experts warn that even with these new initiatives, it will take years for travel to regain the pre-COVID-19 levels. And even when it happens, it will not be the same again. Thank you. I will be back with more insights. Till then, take care, and please don't forget to share and subscribe.